With the transfer window now closed shut, the Premier League alone has spent £2.36 billion on new talent. And now that there will be no more new incomings till at least January, it's time to reflect on the transfer business done this summer. So in this video, we will take a look at the best signings in each position in the Premier League and create a combined 11. Before we get started, as always, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Goalkeeper, Andre Onana. There's been a few good goalkeeping transfer moves this summer, with Raya going to Arsenal and Robert Sanchez going to Chelsea. But in a fairly underwhelming transfer window for Manchester United, Onana has by far been the best goalkeeping signing this summer. At 27, he's already got a very impressive CV, starting his career at Ajax, completing 6 seasons and winning 3 league titles. He moved to Inter Milan last summer, winning 2 domestic cups in his only season and made the Champions League final. And unfortunately, whilst he was on the losing side, he was praised for being one of the best players on the pitch. He made several big saves and was extremely comfortable playing out from the back, and was even highlighted as Inter Milan's most dangerous player by Pep Guardiola before the final. Huge praise for a goalkeeper. Right back, Jurrien Timber. A flexible player who can play anywhere in the backline, Jurrien Timber could arguably have been the signing of the summer were it not for its unfortunate ACL injury on his Premier League debut versus Nottingham Forest. It's unlikely he'll play again this season, but long term this is an amazing signing for Arsenal. He's versatile and extremely good on the ball, a perfect Arteta player. Add to that he only cost an initial fee of £35 million. Only concern with Timber would be whether or not his injury did any long-term damage to his body, but time will tell if that's the case or not. Centre-back, Gvardiol. 21-year-old Gvardiol arrived from RB Leipzig for £77 million, making him the second most expensive defender of all time behind Harry Maguire. In his young career, he's already achieved so much, winning 7 trophies at club level and achieving 3rd place with Croatia in the World Cup last winter. Now he gets to work under one of the greatest coaches of all time for the best team in the world at the moment. With a huge fee comes huge pressure, but Gvardiol is tailor-made for Man City as he's extremely comfortable on the ball and can play left back, which works out perfectly for Pep as he's been playing 4 centre-backs at the back regularly since last season. Centre-back, Pau Torres. Spanish international Pau Torres had previously been linked with clubs like Man City and Manchester United, but this summer Villa were able to secure his services for £31 million. A true bargain when you consider the crazy fees going around this summer. He played under Unai Emery at Villarreal, winning the Europa League and reaching the Champions League semi-final, which no doubt would have helped him convince to come to Villa. Pau Torres is one of the most established centre-backs in Spain and saw a big signing for Aston Villa, who will be playing in the Conference League this season. And with Tyrone Mings out with a long-term injury, the signing of Pau Torres becomes even more important. Left back, Lewis Hall. As far as left backs are concerned, there's not been many high-profile signings in that position in the Premier League. But Newcastle signing Chelsea's Lewis Hall on loan was definitely a good piece of business. The fullback's only 18 years old, so has bags of potential and made 11 appearances for Chelsea last season. Impressive when you consider that Chelsea also have the likes of Cucurella and Chilwell at their disposal. Newcastle have an obligation to buy Hall for £28 million, which is a bargain considering his age and talent. And the fact that many Chelsea fans wanted him to stay at the club over the other 2 senior left-backs proves how highly rated he was in West London. Central midfield, Declan Rice. Arguably the most high-profile move in the Premier League this summer is Declan Rice moving from West Ham to Arsenal for £105 million. The former West Ham captain made it clear that he will be moving after winning the Conference League last season, and Arsenal finally got their man after a long transfer saga. Whether or not Rice is worth £105 million remains to be seen, but no doubt he's one of the best midfielders in the league for the past couple seasons, and now he'll be playing for a team which only narrowly missed out on the Premier League title last season. Declan Rice can do it all, from carrying the ball up the pitch, doing his defensive duties, and being a real danger outside the opposition box. I do think, however, Arsenal need to play him with Partey in the pivot to get the best out of him, and he does need to go up another level from his West Ham days to justify the huge fee paid for him. Central midfield, Moises Caicedo. And now to complete arguably the most expensive midfield pivot of all time is Chelsea's £115 million signing Moises Caicedo. Just like West Ham, Brighton played hardball and made sure to get as much money as possible for the star man, and just like Arsenal, Chelsea paid up. Last season Caicedo was brilliant for Brighton, only missing 1 game all season, playing defensive midfield and also filling in at right back. There's not a team in the world that wouldn't improve with Caicedo in there, and Chelsea are lucky to have him at their disposal. They've just got rid of Kante, arguably one of the best CDMs in the last 10 years, and have signed the perfect replacement who could easily be at the club for a decade, considering he's only 21 years old. His debut for the club was definitely one to forget, but once he settles, a midfield of Kaiso, Lavia and Enzo may just be the most exciting trio in world football. Centre attacking midfield, James Madison. The steal of this summer transfer window is Spurs signing James Madison for just £14 million. The 26-year-old has been one of the best attacking midfielders in the Premier League for the last 5 years, and to be honest should have got a big move years ago. Last season in a struggling Leicester side, he managed 10 goals and 9 assists. That's 19 goal involvements for a team that got relegated. And Spurs have been lacking a creative output from midfield since the departure of Christian Eriksen, and now they've got a top-class one in Madison. It's very early days, but the midfield trio of Madison, Sarr and Basuma looks like a real problem for the rest of the league and could make a surprise push for top 4. The only shame about this transfer is that Harry Kane isn't still at the club, because the duo of him and Madison would have ripped up this league. Right wing, Musa Diabi. It was a tough choice between Diabi and Man City's Jeremy Doku, but I went for the former as he's a bit more polished as a player. Last season for Bayer Leverkusen, Diabi scored 14 goals and got 11 assists in all competitions, having hit 17 goals and 14 assists the season before. He's been one of the most consistent attackers in Germany, and this has rewarded him with 10 French caps so far. Impressive considering he's only 24 years old and the embarrassment of riches France have in the attacking department. Aston Villa forked out £50 million for the winger who was previously linked with Arsenal and Newcastle. Just like Pau Torres, this signing is a huge statement of intent from Villa and they will surely be pushing for the top 6 this season. Striker, Nkunku. Technically not a number 9, but we had to fit in Nkunku somehow. Last season he won the Golden Boot in the Bundesliga with 16 league goals, and the season before he won the Footballer of the Year award in Germany as well as the Bundesliga Player of the Season, as he managed an astonishing 55 goals and assists in all competitions. And whilst it's a huge shame that he got injured before the start of the season, he is expected to be fit around November time, so can still play a huge role in Chelsea's Premier League campaign this season. We have seen several Bundesliga stars come to the Premier League and flop, and we even made a video on that topic, so please check that out. But Nkunku seems to have all the technical and physical abilities to thrive in England. Left wing, Ansu Fati. Harvey Barnes was going to be the left winger in this team, having signed for Newcastle, until Brighton went and signed Ansu Fati from Barcelona. It's only a loan deal, but even so, Brighton have signed one of the most exciting young talents in world football. It's no secret Fati has struggled with injuries throughout his young career, but when he's on the pitch, he rarely fails to deliver. Last season he had 14 goal involvements for Barcelona, and the season before he managed 21. He's still only 20 years old and was not too long ago tipped to be Barcelona's new Messi, being mentioned in the same breath as the likes of Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham. If he can stay fit, he will be a brilliant signing for Brighton, considering their possession-based style of football, which is something he's already used to. And that was it for the best signings in each position in the Premier League. Comment down below any players who you think we missed out, and as always please like, comment and subscribe.